Okay, we've got the Red Bull Miami design right here, and that it. Yes, indeed, the very much anticipated Red Bull livery is now here to celebrate the Miami Grand Prix, and it honestly reminds me of an iPad commercial with some squiggles. And I've seen plenty of potential designs, and they look really, really compelling, and then this doesn't. Then again, I'm not downing on the person who actually designed this. Congratulations to them. I'm kind of more focusing on the Red Bull side of things. Probably could have actually spent a little bit more time choosing which was which. What better time for me to talk about liveries from this season? So let's start off with Red Bull themselves. Their default livery, not really much has changed here from last year, and especially when they did the thing of having the 2022 car with the 2023 livery, what was the difference? Except maybe the airbox, and maybe some other things, and a couple of sponsors. That launch event, that was probably one of the worst in recent memory. And we've seen Lewis Hamilton flying around on wires and stuff, and that was more surreal than bad. I would give this probably a B-, because it's a classic design. It's gonna be used for a very long time. It's been used since 2016, so why would they change it now? It's a winning formula. Get it? Because we're in Formula 1. Then we go to Mercedes, and Mercedes went back to black for this year. It saves a lot of weight in terms of paint. This was mainly off the back of the fact that in 2020 and 2021, they had black painted cars, and they looked gorgeous despite the simplicity. The arrows of 1998 mimic this as well, showing that no matter what team you are, if you have an all-black livery, it's gonna look really good, unlike an all-white livery where it looks like you're really running out of money. I'm looking at you, Tyrrell. But the point is, this is going back to a classic design. It's very nice and simple, and the addition of a little splash of colour for the different drivers really makes it pop a little bit more. So it is an evolution of a theme, it's just not necessarily guaranteed to bring forth victories and glory, and if they just kept this, I'd be happy with it. It's certainly looking very dangerous, so that's getting a solid A. Ferrari. Like I've said in many other videos, you really can't do a bad Ferrari livery. You can make it a little bit kooky and a little bit weird, like that one time where they ran in blue and white out of protest, but the 2023 livery is a nice evolution on last year's one. There's a little bit more white this time around, but everything works very, very well together. However, go to the side though, and all of that weight-saving paint removal is starting to come into full effect. Random carbon fiber splodges everywhere. You surely could have come up with a little bit of a better configuration there, guys. For example, the bit around the Ferrari logo, they sort of dart around to make sure that, oh, don't touch the Ferrari logo. They really should have just gone ahead and done it. It would have looked extra special, but I would still say it's solid. Matte red still looks very nice, and the black wings, very, very good too. So I would definitely say this is a B+. Then we have Alpine. This is a much better integration of what they had from last year. This is certainly starting to gel well more with the BWT pink. It feels like last year it was a last-minute addition when Otmar Snapnower came in. Pink side pods, yes. And honestly, the all-pink livery that we've had for the first 3 races popped off a lot more than I thought, and some people I saw online were actually thinking you may as well just stick with it. It looks okay, it looks distinctive, much like what we saw in 2017 when Force India adopted the BWT pink, and people really took to it very, very well. They're good. The pink one's better, but blue and pink, it's starting to grow on me, so I'll definitely say it's a B- as well. Now, McLaren. It's starting to move back to the 2017 McLaren, where it's mostly black with some orange elements on it. I know they're trying to save weight. To be fair, also, the placement of the papaya is pretty clever. It does look really, really menacing. It's definitely improved from the initial launch spec of the 2022 car, where it looked like a boat. Now it's slimmed down a little more, and it's starting to look a little bit more menacing. The matte papaya and the carbon fiber black pops off really well too. And I really dig the fact that McLaren's trying new things. They actually innovated having the chrome rainbow on the wheel hubs, and now they're dealing with e-ink advertisements near the driver cockpit. I don't know why they're doing it, but it's cool that they're trying. And from the front side, it still looks papaya enough. But to be fair, I think they peaked with that campaign in 2019, the first time where they actually had orange and blue. It's certainly a C+, but I feel like they really need to go easy on the weight limits. That means they can actually add a little bit more colour again. Alfa Romeo. Ooh, yes. All they had to do was just swap the white with some black, and they came up with a winner. The car's not really all that great right now. In fact, it's arguably the slowest car on the grid, But in terms of actual aesthetics and looks and charm, the Alfa Romeo car can't be beat. It's a nice and simple design. They've eschewed away from the matte trend that started with Red Bull in 2016 and have still gone quite glossy. And it looks really, really dangerous. And honestly, I feel like this actually could stick around for a very long time. Audi's racing colours are, at the moment, black and red. This could have been the actual start of Alfa becoming Sauber and then becoming Audi. It'll be just a steady, smooth progress towards 2026 when Audi comes in. It was just a nice, simple thing. They just turn the lights off and there you go. Solid A. Aston Martin, and oh boy. Well, they didn't really have to change all that much, but what they did change made it very more like what an Aston Martin should have been like. I was a little bit harsh on it on my initial livery reveal, and I just thought it was fine, but now you couple a really speedy livery design with the fact that Aston Martin is now on the ascendancy with Fernando Alonso. This is going to be a livery design that's going to stand the test of time. Aston Martin don't really need to change it. They just can keep it as it is. It's the right shade of British racing green with that little bit of lime green element to emulate the Aston Martin racing division. They don't really need to change anything else, much like how Red Bull and Mercedes don't really need to change it anymore. It's pretty much what the team stands for. And now that the team is doing really good in terms of performance and points, it's just an absolute winning formula. I would definitely say this is an A as well, in hindsight. Haas. I thought it was okay to begin with. I thought it was quite a cool way of moving on to a different type of design after years of just like mostly white. Certainly moving away from the white, red and blue of certain sponsors. But now it's just starting to look a little bit uninspired. It's not ugly exactly, it's just not really wow, jumping out at me and going like, ooh, this is a statement of intent from Haas. It's just really show that they are struggling to save weight, and it's mostly black with some white and red. It does look more forgivable from the front, where it does look mostly white, but from other angles, it's just not really catching any sparks with me, you know? I would definitely say it's a C. Then we have AlphaTauri, and oh no, okay. No, this is definitely the worst one of the season. We saw that with BWT in 2022, just meddling with Alpine's brilliant blue, white, red design. But now this is just even worse. It's not like All-In even tried to integrate with the team properly. They could have even just gone with red text. That would have been a little bit of a stretch, but red, white, and blue can work. But no, you just gotta have a big, bold red square on there with white text, and it's just, oh no, it just completely ruins the flow. This is meant to be a fashion brand, AlphaTauri, and it's not fashionable. It does not look stylish. And now the performance is reflecting that as well, with Nick de Vries really struggling after a stunning 2022 campaign, and Yuki Tsunoda treading water, just about squeaking a point here and there. It's a combination of not that great performance and dire design. I'm sorry, this is a D. Then we end up with Williams, and it's a mature design. It's not a wow design, and it's also a bit of a letdown considering Golf being a major sponsor, but according to the higher-ups at Williams, this is just the beginning of their integration of Golf into what they look like. And maybe we might see something in Monaco. We do see some elements on what their track designs are, and some of the pit crew are in the Golf colours. It's just going to be a steady transition from the Doralton era of Williams with the kind of dark blue and stuff that we started to see in 2022. It looks sensible enough. It looks very proper, sophisticated. Here's hoping that Williams are on the ascendancy again, or at least back in the midfield solidly, with Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. So I would definitely say this is a C+. Hopefully we'll actually start to see some more one-off livery designs, and if you'd like to see me review those as they come along, do hit me up in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go and get ready for Miami. Hey, there's actually going to be water in the marina now. Isn't that exciting?